Working with LAMA2, listen, I know most genetics tell you low tone, and I get it. There's still a structure to movement, and that's what's most important. So I'm going to tell you right now, if this is what it took me to get off the floor, right, I need way more muscle to do something than if I needed this to get off the floor. We don't want him to work where he needs more muscles, because muscles are not on his best side. It's not his adversary. I know this because my son is so hypotonic, it's not even funny. You touch his belly, he's like touching a feather pillow. And when you're doing movements like this, you can call it your center of gravity's off, you can call it a lot of things. But first of all, what you have to work on is he has too much of a heavy head. And I was actually very excited because I had a Zoom today, and she's like, I know there's a problem because Michelle said the eyes stay on the prize. When you're performing a milestone, the eyes have to be there. So there's no such thing as propping in tummy time. You know what I mean? The tummy time just happens. It's a rise from the pelvis. And that's what happens, and that's what you're looking for. So the first thing you need to work on, and again, it's laborious for parents, but it's a necessity. You have to change the way the balance point acts in the head. And that's your first objective. Because again, when the body wants to succumb to gravity, gravity will win, right? So we have to find a place for the head, and it is a little bit more advanced, but you can do it where you're changing the mechanics of the body, that the gravity now is more here. And when it's here, then I can do anything, right? But when it's off here and I'm like this, you know, the vestibular system isn't there. No difference, and I hate to say that, than someone that's impaired with alcohol. You'll see the clumsiness, you'll see this. You know, they didn't suddenly lose their muscle mass, but they're succumbing to gravity because they want to go to the floor. And that is the biggest problem with genetics, is that people don't realize is that with genetics, they want to come to the floor. And I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to get my plant. So I have a plant here, which I'm very proud of because I actually grew flowers back on an orchid. And I'm a little bit too busy for green thumb. Okay, now this flower, no matter what I do with it, right? Do you see how it just moves around me? Now this is a mass because it's holding the orchid up, right? But no matter what I do, I'll put the orchid down, this flower wants to oppose gravity, but it's a living organism. Now this bowl or the dirt, so if I tilt this, I'll make a mess because the soil is not a living organism. Yes, it has living organisms in it. Will succumb to gravity and it will fall down. But no matter what I do, the art of fall or that kind of movement is just not in the flowers. It's no different than our babies, guys. And that's your first objective, is we have to start working with this whole body. You're gonna go back to the tummy time course, and you really need to start working on, how do I work on his head? And look at, just again, these are flowers, how gentle you need to be. And that's what, but no matter what, these flowers want to find where they need to be in space. They're not dropping down, right? Our you know, a plant doesn't say, I'm gonna just, you know, go just knock out for a while. It does when it's dying, right? But it won't do it when it's alive. And you can just be here and you can just work. And this is how gentle the work is, you know. But if you're looking for strength, when you get into certain positions, you try and fall and be strong enough to get out of it. That's what he's going through. You can't keep letting that head fall and expect him to get out of it and not complete the fall. The fall will always win. We are capable of falling, but we're not organized to falling. I don't want him to be organized to fall. So if he's organized to fall and you're trying to get him stronger so he doesn't fall, the mathematics aren't there. He'll never be strong enough. And that's where I'm different than everybody else. They expect him one day he'll be strong enough, but they don't see and recognize the fall. And that's where the complications come into play. So what you need to do is start working with him so the fall is not there. I'm capable of falling, right? But hopefully I don't fall too often. I did fall this weekend, but I got out. You know, I was fishing and I got caught up in vines. You know, they won. But, you know what I mean? But it didn't take me out. Every movement he makes, it's taking him out. He's exhausted. And again, when you're exhausted, you're just not strong enough, right? And that's the two conversations that are going to change when you start working with me. And then you go through the step-by-step process, so then the milestones are stronger. That's why I'm pushing you back to tummy time. I know we all want walking. We all want this, or independent sitting, whatever. We want the next milestone, but we have to realize we need the foundations of milestones. That's what's important. Thanks.